Hey there, Bitizens! Francesca here from the Killer Bits, and this week I want to talk to you guys about virtual reality and gaming, and whether that is in fact the future of gaming. Now, at E3, and kind of just before E3, we had a lot of announcements from Microsoft about their partnership with Oculus, about their partnership with Valve's virtual reality system, and also about the Hololens, which is actually an augmented reality system rather than a VR system. And I guess the thing is that Microsoft wants these devices to work on Windows, as they're now pushing kind of Windows 10 across from the PC and also to the Xbox. So hopefully with the link between Xbox 10 on PC and Xbox, you'll also see VR on the Xbox. Meanwhile, Sony's doing their own thing with their own kind of headset, and Nintendo's like, nah, fuck that. And I guess with VR, I want to kind of talk about the positives, the negatives, and kind of how it can fit in. So the whole point is that it's designed to immerse you kind of in the game. So the whole idea of when you look over here or look over there or whatever, you can see what's going on in the game. And in kind of first-person games, it seems to be especially kind of valid. The idea that you're kind of in the game. People want to implement it into kind of driving games. We've seen demos with like roller coasters and whatnot. And the biggest problem for me is the fact that, for one, VR systems, I can't imagine you being able to wear them comfortably for an extended period of time. And, you know, as a gamer, sometimes you have extended gaming sessions. Sometimes you can end up gaming for like up to 6 hours, for example. And in these kind of situations, I don't see VR really taking off. Also, motion sickness is a big issue. Now, if you look at kind of VR games, the ones with like roller coasters or where you're in racing cars, there is a discrepancy between where you are and how you're sitting and what you're feeling. So you feel as if you're moving. You have the VR helmet on, you're going down a roller coaster, you're going up and down. So your brain thinks that you're moving, but in terms of the balance system, for example, in your inner ears and whatnot, the rest of your body is aware that you're stationary. And because of this mismatch, it tends to lead to motion sickness, which people who've ever had motion sickness will know it's not a lot of fun. However, Oculus games and VR games which involve the player sitting down and remaining stationary actually do not trigger this motion sickness effect. However, if you're going to be making a game, I can't really think of particularly many games other than maybe Five Nights at Freddy's where you just kind of sit in one place and aren't really required to move around. So I don't understand how they're going to kind of combat this feature. The other issue is that I am in fact a glasses wearer. These are my glasses now I can see. I just take them off because reflections of the screen in the videos aren't really pleasant. And having tried out the Oculus, I don't understand how they're going to make this comfortable for people like me to wear over glasses, or whether I'd have to wear contact lenses all the time. If you're doing that, you're kind of segregating a large portion of the market. Whereas people who play games on a screen, for example, I can wear my glasses, I can use a regular screen normally without any kind of additional cost involved, whether it be contact lenses, whether it be prescription Oculuses, or whether it just be a headset that can comfortably fit around the glasses. So this is another kind of issue that we're facing. And I'm just wondering, like, is this really what the community wants when they game? Like, when I play games, I don't really tend to think like, oh man, you know what, this would make this even better? Like, if it was 3D and I was kind of sucked in. Like, games I find are immersive enough if I'm kind of driven by the storyline and the characters. I don't know if virtual reality is going to add that extra layer that they're trying to push for. On the other hand, we have the Hololens, which is augmented reality. So it's actually a kind of a clear a piece of VR equipment that you see through. I should say VR is AR, augmented reality. So you see through it, and it projects holograms onto different things. You'll be able to see holograms, say, on your wall, on your table, what have you. These are kind of the stuff that's been thrown about by Microsoft. The big one that they showed at E3 was using it to play Minecraft in an almost like God mode, where you're looking down above the map at the level of your creations and what have you. Exactly how that's going to tie in, I'm not entirely sure, but considering Microsoft just picked up Mojang, I'm sure that they do want a Minecraft tie-in with the HoloLens, because Minecraft is hugely popular. And to me, I think the HoloLens, in terms of adjusting gaming, is the one I'm more interested to see where it's going, because I can see it being feasible in terms of not making people feel sick. I can see it being kind of fun in the ways that you can use it both for your kind of daily life and for gaming, whereas Oculus, I feel is very much tied to gaming. Like, I don't really see other ways you could really use it, whereas at least with the VR, with the HoloLens, with the augmented reality, that you could project, I don't know, your calendar on your wall or different sorts of things, I think it's a bit more versatile. It still has the issue that, you know, as a glasses wearer, am I going to be able to wear it? But I can see it being kind of interesting, and also being able to maybe project games onto the wall. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to tie in these kind of holograms. Maybe you could, for example, project parts of the HUD, you know, like your health bar, your mana in certain games, maybe your abilities, these kind of things. I'm kind of keen to see where that will go. But in the long run, I'm not exactly sold on VR as of yet. The other issue I see is that if I want to play with friends, am I going to have like 8 Oculuses or like multiple pairs of HoloLenses? Are people going to have their own? How is it going to be financially viable? Like, unless the HoloLens is kind of, or the Oculus or whatever, unless these are kind of similar pricing to, say, a controller, you're never going to have people using them, having more than one. Whereas, like, yes, I can see them working for single-player games, but how is that really going to tie into multiplayer games? And for me, I'm not convinced that, like, VR is the future of gaming. A few years ago, it would be that 3D was the future of gaming. 3D screens, 3D what have you. And I mean, yes, some people do have 3D TVs, but I have never used 3D, and I don't really see it being particularly widespread amongst my friends and whatnot. So how exactly is that going to tie in? And, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you like these kind of VR moves? Do you not? I think, in some ways, like, Nintendo are shying away, and that's probably a wise decision until it becomes more established. Whereas Microsoft, obviously, they do Xbox, but they also make operating systems and whatnot. They are going ahead with it because there are other implementations of stuff like AR and VR beyond just gaming for computers, and it makes sense for them to have those tie-ins there. And meanwhile, Sony are kind of doing their own thing with the PlayStation, and I don't know. I'm not that hype about VR and AR. I'm keeping an eye on it. I want to see where it goes, and I'm going to reserve judgment on stuff like the HoloLens until I've actually tried it out. But having tried out the Oculus and had it make me A, feel sick, B, be really awkward to use with my glasses. Like, if I put my glasses on, it was smushing them into my face, which is super uncomfortable. If I took them off, I couldn't see the screens in front of my eyes. Like, the whole game was blurry. So that one for me, I'm not really that into it, and unless they've changed something dramatically in the next little while, it's something I'm going to steer clear of. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys could hit that thumbs up button, guys, whether you like VR or not, that would be awesome. As always, we have a Facebook at facebook.com/thekilobits and a Twitter at thekilobits. But yeah, let me know about VR, guys, and what you enjoyed about E3, what you didn't enjoy. I'm super hyped for Kingdom Hearts 3 and for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I feel like I'm going to have to buy a PlayStation now, which is kind of shitty, but it was going to become time sooner or later. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week with another vlog.